Every morning, he looks at the mirror, but never really looks. He brushes his teeth, fixes his hair, and moves on, eyes down, avoiding his own gaze. Because somewhere deep inside, he's scared of what he might see. So he puts on a smile before stepping outside. A smile that isn't real, but works well enough. He laughs with people, nods along, plays the part everyone expects. But the laughter never quite reaches his eyes. At night, alone, the mask slowly slips off. And in the silence, the exhaustion finally shows. He remembers who he used to be, full of dreams, full of fire. Now, just tired. Walking past mirrors, he looks away on instinct. Truth feels heavier than pretending. But somewhere, behind the dust of denial, something is still waiting to be seen. A part of him forgotten, untouched, ignored for too long. Tonight, staring at the ceiling, one question won't leave him alone. Who have I become? And in the shadows, a mirror glows faintly in the distance, calling him closer. Because the mirror doesn't lie. And tonight, neither will he. For the first time, he doesn't look away. He stares straight into his own eyes, and barely recognizes what he sees. There's the mask he wears for everyone, and then there's this. The tired, real version hiding underneath. He scrolls through his phone, watching everyone else seem so put together. Smiling faces, perfect moments, lives that look easier than his. And slowly, without realizing it, he starts shrinking. Comparing himself to highlight reels no one really lives. I'm fine, he says again, the same line he always says. But the crack in his voice tells a different story. He remembers being told, long ago, to never cry, to always be strong. So he learned to hide it well, a little too well. Now those same walls he built as a child are still standing. Still protecting him from a world he was taught to fear. Surrounded by mirrors, he sees so many versions of himself. The work self. The social self. The tired self at 2 a.m. Which one is even real anymore? For a moment, it all feels like too much to carry. But in the broken pieces on the floor, something flickers. A small, quiet truth, still waiting patiently to be found. There's a missed call he never returned. A friend who reached out, and he was too tired to answer honestly. Slowly, without meaning to, he started pushing people away. Not because he didn't care, but because pretending got exhausting. He started feeling alone, even in a room full of people. Carrying a mask everywhere he went, like an invisible weight. At night, his mind wouldn't stop whispering, "You're not good enough." He found an old photo, a version of himself that used to laugh freely. Where did that person go? One evening, standing in the rain, something in him finally let go. The mask he wore so carefully began to wash away. For a moment, he saw himself in a puddle, broken, blurry, but still real. Still him. Kneeling there, soaked and tired, he whispered the truth out loud. "I can't keep pretending anymore." It wasn't weakness. It was the first honest thing he'd said in years. And as the rain slowed, the clouds above began to part. A small beam of light touched his face. Not a solution yet, but a sign. Something was about to change. Something shifts the moment he stops pretending. He rises, lighter than he's felt in years. No more chains. No more invisible weight dragging behind him. He walks back to that same mirror, but this time, he doesn't look away. He looks straight into his own eyes, fully, honestly. And for the first time in a long while, he smiles. Not the fake one he wears for others. A real one. "I see you now," he whispers to his reflection. And just like that, the mask he carried for so long finally shatters. Piece by piece, it falls away. He realizes something powerful: he doesn't need to be perfect to be real. Scars and all, this is who he is. And that's enough. He picks up the phone, and this time, he doesn't hesitate. The friend he avoided picks up, surprised to hear from him. This time, he doesn't perform. He just speaks honestly. And somehow, that honesty brings them closer than ever before. Later, alone again, he stands before the mirror one final time. The reflection finally matches who he truly is inside. No mask. No performance. Just him. And for the first time, that feels like enough. A new kind of morning begins. Not perfect. Just honest. He looks in the mirror each day now, not to hide, but to check in with himself. He writes down what he really feels, instead of burying it. He sets small goals, not to impress anyone, just to grow a little each day. He laughs again, real laughter, the kind that reaches his eyes. And when he sees someone else struggling the way he once did, he doesn't look away. He sits beside them. He listens. He helps. Because healing means something more when you pass it forward. Looking back now, he can see how far he's come. Step by step. Day by day. Choice by choice. He's not the same person who once avoided his own reflection. And maybe that's the real lesson here. You don't need to be perfect to be real. You just need to stop running from the truth. Look in the mirror. Really look. See the tired eyes, the quiet fears, the unfinished parts of you. And love yourself anyway, because that's where real change begins. The mirror was never the problem. It was just waiting for you to finally look.